Oh, just getting the good old stretch in. Good morning, gamers,
Wow.
in this beautiful, fine purple of a skyline that we have going on here. Good morning.
You'd think we're in the
Welcome.
same house.
You would think so. We're not. We're actually several worlds away. But we
We
stay
are,
connected
especially in
through
this
this podcast. Good morning and welcome to the loading screen.
segment.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
right. This is your morning podcast to cue your day up with. I am your host, Dre, aka Crash, and with me, of course, my other half. I've got Alex, aka Sir Skrillex, in the building, sir. Cup
Hi,
of
guys.
Joe to you in the morning.
Cup of Joe. That's a nice mug you got. Is that IKEA?
Yeah, it's definitely IKEA. I think it's. Hold up. No, Food Network. Food Network.
Food Network.
Yeah, a little fancy right there.
Okay. All right.
Good morning.
Somebody's
Good
been
morning.
watching their recipes.
Dude, there's like not much else. My cooking skills have leveled up so hard. Like
Yeah.
if I could see the experience points, I would love to see my progression. I would think I'm at least level 45 right now, but not too sure yet.
Well, I mean, I saw Aloe post a picture of your. Were you the one that cooked the ramen the other
Oh,
day?
son of a bitch. Yeah, that was me. I forgot she posted
looked
that.
tasty.
I
That
forgot
looked
she
tasty.
posted about that.
Here's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
was
do. I'm
me.
gonna fly my drone over to your house. You're gonna
Tight.
load it up on the drone, and then I'll fly it back.
Tight. I'm
My
down.
house.
I'm down.
All right.
So, welcome, man. Today
Hi, guys.
is the 2nd of April. The Fools of Days, the Days of Fools is behind us. We're into a new
is.
month, and yeah, new episode. So, welcome. It's been a long time since we last saw each other. It's only been about a day, but yeah, it's been pretty good,
It's
man.
a
What's
long
up?
time though in quarantine. It's a
Yeah,
long time in
the
quarantine. I
the
mean,
days do meld together.
dude, I got a whole bunch of malarkey to talk about today. Like, I mean, seriously though. Oh man, wait, real quick. What have you been playing? Because I feel like I'm gonna go off on a little tangent.
Yeah. So, luckily enough, I think it was yesterday or might have been day of the last show. Resident Evil. Resident Evil 3 is tomorrow. Resident Evil 3 is tomorrow. We got reviews that are live right now. People, of course, reviewers already have their embargoes lifted. So, I am like staying hardcore away from it right now. I've seen like little bits. Like I hate it when thumbnails are just too good or descriptions are too good and they'll show up and they
Yeah.
kind of already give it away. Like so and so
Yeah,
this
yeah.
campaign. I'm like, dude, like I really don't want to know.
Mm-hmm.
But alongside Resident Evil 3, there's been, of course, the Resident Evil Resistance, which is the beta that went live. It's the pseudo Dead by Daylight mode that they have for this game, where it's you and other survivors.
Oh.
Yeah, it's you and other survivors.
They always had this.
This was announced. This was around before, but it became bundled with Resident Evil 3 because they don't have any other modes right now. There's like no mercenaries mode or anything like that, which kind of sucks because traditionally you want those modes in Resident Evil, but 3 doesn't have it. And so instead, this is one of the pseudo modes that they've added to it. So you and 3 other people get to team up against what is called the mastermind of this facility or whatever level you're at, and he gets to spawn zombies, control zombies, spawn traps.
So basically, August 2020 in a nutshell.
Yes, exactly. Just a little bit more Resident Evil in the mix.
There.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I've been playing some of that. The beta went open yesterday, or it went open I think Tuesday. I got to sit down and play it Tuesday and some of Wednesday. It's fun. I played Dead by Daylight myself, so I was instantly like, making the comparison with that. Definitely, has the same spirit there. It's just different mechanics. It's Resident Evil, so we're talking
Okay.
centric to zombies, not like each character or the mastermind has specific powers depending on who he picks. It's the same set of loadouts for
So-
him at this moment. So
Well, let me ask you this: so are the players like you said, Dead by Daylight? So immediately I'm thinking PvP. Is it PvP? Or
yeah,
is it
yeah, you're going against. Yeah, it's 4 of you
Okay,
versus
okay.
another player who is the mastermind,
Gotcha,
and
the
each of the
mastermind, okay.
each of the characters there have specific skills that they're
Okay.
good at. One of them is probably good with melee weapons. I didn't get to play with one. I actually got to play with her specifically. Jackie, I want to say that's her name. I can't think off the top of the dome, but she gets to, ironically, she gets to hack cameras. Like the main way that the mastermind gets to, go around and see what you're doing. He
Ironically
gets to look through cameras, and she can hack them. So, because through the camera is how you get to place traps and stuff too. So you get to kind of immobilize him from like, stopping your progression. So she's got a pretty interesting tool. Like the other girl, she can find key items, like scan for key items. Like you need security cards to open up terminals and like continually progress. It's several different levels too. And there's buy stations that, I'm using buy stations because of, Call of Duty, but it's like, that's basically what they are. Is buy stations that you can buy better weapons, health, stuff like that, because you start fighting stronger and stronger zombies. Like Mr. X can get dropped in, and for those that played Resident Evil 2, like he's the first time I fought him, he got me with the longest. So my computer like kind of alt tabbed when he fell, so I'm like at the mercy of like trying to alt tab back, and he grabbed me with this cinematic move that if I don't do anything, he just like crushes my head instantly. I'm like, okay, that was a good first experience. Yeah, I got my my thoughts were leaking out my side. They were on the floor. It was kind of cool. But you get to respawn. It's not like a one death like Daylight where it's one death and you don't get to come back. It's been interesting. It's been fun. Definitely, like playing Resident Evil 2 on some steroids, but with other people, multiplayer. So it's actually a lot of fun that way. I was primarily playing that.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm curious because honest to God, I've never played Resident Evil. The Resident Evil that I played was the remake, like the horror remake of
7, right?
7,
yeah. When it went back to the roots,
I love jump scares. Like when I stream, people only watch my stream during horror streams because I scream like a little girl.
Okay, it's all good. I'm pretty sure Chet can verify that. But yeah, so this still has those elements. Like 7 was when they kind of went back to their roots, and now with Resident Evil 2, they brought back like the most anticipated game to finally be remade. It did so well. Now 3 is coming out, so I guess they decided to throw something else in the mix to kind of help with this co-op. Now that we have the ability to play more online, it's been since Resident Evil Outbreak that we've been able to play cooperatively in a Resident Evil game. And to put it in perspective, that was PS2.
Oh my!
Like at this level, you've been able to you've been able to play co-op in like 5. You can play co-op with someone else, but that's only for story. Like there's like a specific mode for you to go online and play against other people or something. It's been quite some time, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it seems from chat Resident Evil 1 remake and 2 are good as well. So
absolutely.
I'll have to jump into it. Maybe I'll have to jump into it.
You should play Resident Evil 0. Play Resident Evil 1. You can play 1 through 3 right now, all remade, which is a really good time for you. Yeah, from 0 to 3 have all been remade, and they're all insane. So you should definitely go check them out. But yeah, that's been my Wednesday pickup. Besides, fighting games on Wednesday. Shout outs to everyone that showed up to Kyra Cancel last night. Those were our online sessions. It was awesome, man. It was great. Like, unfortunately, one of the things of the quarantine is just, you can't go out and hang out with the homies and press some buttons and like we do every Wednesday that we do at localhost. So we said, F it, let's go online and do it, and we did. Me and MJ got the host. Shout outs to MJ at MJ Gaming, of course. Follow him on Twitter, Best Vega in the Northeast.
If you guys want to catch that video, you can watch the VOD from last night, right?
Yeah, it'll be up later today
on Twitch.
Yeah, that'll be up.
YouTube as well.
Yep, it's gonna be on YouTube. It's on Twitch right now. But yeah, got to just press buttons. Didn't realize I still have my chops in Street Fighter. Got to play some of the best players in Philly, which was awesome. It was just an overall good time for the past couple of days. So I've been just competing against people. It has not stopped.
Yeah. Dude, to kind of speak to Street Fighter real quick, our first GexCon together down in DC, one of my viewers goes by the name of Darui Basic. He met me for the first time in person at GexCon, and he destroyed me. They were like arcade cabinets. You remember the arcade cabinets?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely thrashed me in Street Fighter, and I was like, well, this is a great first impression. Nice to meet you.
So quick revise. Burger Gun in chat. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about Umbrella Corp. That was a co-op Resident Evil game. It was more actiony based. It wasn't during the Resident Evil 2 like a side story. But we don't talk about that game though. Nobody talks about that game now. Wasn't a big fan. It was during that era where Resident Evil was becoming so action packed that like it's like it wasn't really scary, right? Like through the hardcore, it was like not what Resident Evil entailed. So that's like a weird time. It was like that teen transition of Resident Evil where it doesn't know what it wants to be, kind of deal. So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
few games that come to mind when I think like that. So I'm sorry to kind of cut you off here, but can we please talk about Final Fantasy 14?
Oh
I'm
yeah.
so tired right now. If you guys see, I got bags under my eyes. I was up extremely late last night playing Final Fantasy 14. I got into it because I was like I said last episode, I was like, I want to play games. I want to figure out why everybody's so obsessed with Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy 14. Jumped into Final Fantasy 14, became addicted right away. I'm now level 57, I think, but I've kind of like slowed down the leveling because I've been focusing on the main story quest. I finally got the Heavensward, so that was my goal. My goal was to get through the
main story, right?
Yeah,
A Realm Reborn. Yes.
Which is pre 3.0. So for those guys that don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dre, you know more about the subject than I do. Final Fantasy 14 came out, 1.0 came out. It was terrible. It crashed. Like it was not good.
Yeah, it was a bomb.
They redid the entire thing. They remade the whole thing.
Yes.
And then from that point forward, that's pretty much what I just played through.
Yes. So little, not to go into incredible detail, but yeah, 14 was, came out to mixed success on the lower tier. It didn't survive as long as they, anticipated to. They did a very interesting transition when I think it was announced first that they were going to rework, because all kinds of things were going on in the background, like the producer and the director that was ahead of this, like he left. So then it was like thrown on someone else. So the project wasn't even done by the same people at first. And, by the end of it, literally, like, even the places that you were like safe in, like the towns you were safe in, they were spawning monsters. They were closing servers. Like you were safe nowhere, because the point of it was the world was ending, which it did. Like the world actually ended. If you look at the Realm Reborn trailer, that actually happened in the game. They were like, we're killing everything. Before fucking Fortnite did some crazy black hole shit, like Final Fantasy 14 did it. They resetted everything, and then hence 3.0 was born, which was a Realm Reborn. That's why the play on the name of it is like, this is the reboot, the reset to 14. And since then they've done an amazing job. Now with Stormblood, the Heavensward afterwards, which was the first expansion, Stormblood right afterwards, and now Shadowbringers is the current one that's live.
Everybody says it's incredible.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is, like, so I wanted to, as I was playing through Realm Reborn, everybody was coming to the chat like, oh, I can't wait for you to get the expansions. Like, it's so much better, blah, blah, blah. So, like, in my head, I'm like, okay, let me just grind a Realm Reborn out and get to the expansions. Last night marked the day that I got to the expansions. So I got to Heavensward, which we're watching Heavensward trailer right here.
Yeah.
And let me just say, dude, I was blown away. I did not expect it, because Heavensward came out, what, 2014?
I want to say, just around then, because I jumped on it myself and Pop Tart. We both jumped on it when it dropped. I played it. I actually played the game in its entirety until I kind of fell off. I fell off around Stormblood. Like, it took till Stormblood for me to finally kind of like pull back, and like I haven't subscribed in a while, which I will eventually come back. We have our deal that once you get to it, I'll reset and go. And funny enough, we should add MJ to it, because MJ just finished 3.0. He just finished the 3.0 as well. So you have someone you could grind with right now. I think he
just finished 3. That monster.
Yeah, I think he
started
Lancer.
Like a week after me.
Yeah, he's a Lancer. He's a Dragoon, I believe, is his main title, main job.
Everybody loves Dragoons, apparently. I had 1 million people in my chat last night telling me Dragoons are the way.
I don't know if it's the highest DPS at the time. When I played Monk was the highest DPS. Like, that thing just shred for, I think, 2 expansions, all the way through Heavensward and up to Stormblood. Like, Monk was murdering. But then, I don't know where it's at right now. It's definitely shifted around. The power levels between different classes have changed. But that's really, we're talking endgame stuff. So if you're new to MMOs, like by the time you're done the story and you're playing all the extra content, that's called the end game, you really start diving into the mechanics of your game, and you start realizing, like, how can you optimize your character to maximize DPS, because as you do bigger raids and bigger dungeons, like, you need to have these mechanics on lock, or else you're like, you're playing with up to, I think, 24 man raids right now. I think there might be even bigger ones. I remember 24 being the biggest the last time I played. You're playing with up to 23 other people, and everyone has to be pulling their weight, like, the entire time.
It's and that's totally it. I mean, in going through this whole COVID-19 situation, you know, part of me and something that I wanted to mention to you.
June,
and
June
maybe
23rd, 2015, right there. There you go.
2015. Okay, perfect. Yeah. No, I mean, like, guys, you know, it depends because, you know, you have when you hear MMO, I think most people, even if you're not, let's say, a gamer, you know, I would think the first thing you think of is WoW, because WoW is probably one of the biggest MMOs in the entire world, if not the biggest and most popular. I played WoW for 8 years.
Next to EverQuest and such, you know.
Well, oh yeah, EverQuest. So,
just saying.
Yeah. Well, my one roommate still plays EverQuest nonstop. He's like leveling characters and everything. Freaking animal.
The hardcore of the hardcore, man.
Exactly, and he's been playing for years. But anyway, I think you know, with this, you know, the point of me bringing it up is, you know, I grinded it out to level 50, or I grinded it out to 3.0. Finally got to 3.0. And it's I was blown away. I mean, it's fantastic. And this is a 2015 release, and you can already see like the textures are getting better, the dialogue is getting better, the cutscenes are getting better. I can't wait to see what Shadowbringers is going to be like.
Yeah,
that's what everybody keeps saying. But
yeah, I'm very curious myself.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the story is so freaking good, and I'm really excited to dive back into it. But that's that, dude. I've been sinking all my time into that. Every single night I've been playing it. That and obviously Warzone, but you know, I haven't played Warzone in like 2 or 3 days because of Final Fantasy 14. But you know, going off of that, you know, I think now with this whole quarantine thing and yeah, with this whole quarantine thing and everybody kind of just like, you know, like being at home and stuck at home, I want to ask you. We're going to list a few games here, but I want to ask you, what are like some games? Let's say top, if you can do 5. Dope, if not 3 games that take up a lot of time that you could jump into during this whole quarantine thing, that you could jump into, take up a lot of time, and you can just sink your teeth into it and really, really, really enjoy it.
Oh, okay. You're talking like the what's it called? Not the safe picks, the old reliable picks. You want the old reliable picks.
Well, I mean, it can be anything, right?
Well, the only reason I say it's old reliable because those are the go-to ones that you're like, oh yeah, I haven't done 100% run of this game in a while. It's that time of the year, and then you just do it.
Yeah,
like, you just
do
it.
You don't achievement hunt if you want.
Yeah, you just go nuts for it.
Yeah.
Ooh, some old reliables.
Chat says RuneScape. RuneScape's a good one, but
yeah, I remember.
I think
RuneScape.
those graphics are dated enough that not many people would probably play it.
No, people are still rocking it. But when you were talking in terms of biggest at the time, yeah, you know, WoW and stuff definitely started overlapping.
Yeah.
You know, I think currently is still. I might be wrong. I'm not sure because Final Fantasy pulls insane subscriber numbers, and I think they've maintained insane subscriber numbers for a hot minute. And yeah, we'll have to we'll verify that in a second. But regardless, old reliables. Kind of classic is for me Super Metroid. Always.
Okay.
I will always.
Ooh, look at that. See, Burger Gun says Super Metroid speedrun.
Oh, what? Oh, there you go. Hey, there you go. Burger Gun knows the deal.
Love.
Yeah, Super Metroid didn't even notice that. I swear. Super Metroid is always a comfort pick. It's got a big point for me in my life as a gamer that I will always go back to it and play. And I'll just 100%. I don't care. I will sink my time in it. I know everything stays the same. I will always play it. I was gonna say one for a Zelda game. Ocarina, I guess, could work, but like it's been a while since I sat down and just did it. I watch more speedruns of Ocarina of Time than anything else, so it's not so much I pick it up and play it. But Super Metroid for sure. Resident Evil 2 is becoming one of those where I'll just like turn it on and I'll play it, just to do it, just because I'm a big fan. So and the remake did so well. Fallout New Vegas. I will always just pop up Fallout New Vegas at any point and just go through it. Deus Ex is another one. I know I brought Deus Ex before, but that actually is one of my, especially the EX Machina ones, the last 2 entries in it, and Human Revolution. Those 2 I still rock. And for a 5th go-to right now that I can pull off the top of my dome, any of the Batman Arkham Asylum games. Probably more likely Arkham City. Arkham City is probably one of my go-tos. And, I'll give you a bonus 6. God of War 3 or God of War 4. Those are also
really good.
Those are also
fantastic.
Go-tos. They're amazing. You need to sit down and play. Yeah, those are all go-tos for me. Just at any point, I could just be like, oh, is it April 2nd already? I'm late for my Deus Ex run, and I'll just pop it in, and then the next thing I know, for like a week, I'll just play that game.
That's awesome.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
It's the same thing with shows, right? I don't know if you got shows that like you just
yeah.
have to like, you know, you've seen it. You've seen the seasons. You know the entire show. You've seen it 8 million times, but you're like, yeah, it's about time for me to, you know, go through it again.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
Interesting.
Those are my go-to picks. What about yourself?
They're all really good, and I know. I mean, it looks like Chad actually has played a lot of the games that you mentioned. When I thought of this, when I thought biggest time sink games that you can sink a lot of time into, I had a bunch that came to mind. I mean, obviously Final Fantasy. I mean, it's helping keep me sane through all of this, right? And it's just, I mean, you can put so many hours into an MMO. Any MMO
is the nature of the MMO, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like an easy answer to that would be any MMO. Like I said, I mean, I'm currently playing Final Fantasy 14. I highly recommend it. If you like faster paced MMOs, I would say Elder Scrolls Online. You know, I'm gonna just go out there and say Skyrim, because one, it's cheap, you can easily buy it.
The amount of mods. Same reason why I play Vegas, by the way. The amount of mods and content that you can extend that replayability from the community is bonkers.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's that. Honestly, so this game is so long that I'm about to mention is so long that I haven't even finished it yet, and I've had it for 2 years, and I've played a decent bit. Like I'll get into it every once in a while. Freaking the new Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I think. Whatever the Greek one is. I think it's
the
Odyssey.
Greek one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Lame Abs has been playing it for a while, and I know he sunk so much time into it, but that game, it's really good. If you like Assassin's Creed games, I think this is probably one of the best Assassin's Creed games in a long time, since Black Flag, in my personal opinion.
Oh, wow. You're on a minority there. Not a lot of people like Black Flag.
It's interesting because
not to say a lot of people. It's just like, you know, you instantly think about it. There's already a premise because of the ship gameplay and stuff. They were like, what? Like, didn't leave a good taste in a lot of people's mouths. So.
Yeah.
You're in a minority. That's fine. I'm in a minority too. I'm actually a big fan of DMC, the remake. That I think it's. I actually still go up to bat for that game. And I'm a hardcore Devil May Cry fan. A lot of people are like, ew, what? I'm like, listen, just hear me out, all right?
I'm one of those guys.
Okay, I got you.
But, you know, like I said, I'll be open to it, you know, seeing some stuff. Wasn't there a new Devil May Cry that was supposed to come out?
Yes, 5 came out already.
It did. Okay.
Yes, played it.
I know nothing about the game, so I wouldn't even have known.
Another franchise you need to get into if you like hack and slash, super fast, stylish.
Hack and slash, like Dynasty Warriors hack and slash, dude. That's my shit.
Yeah, get in that.
So okay, check that out. And then 2 of my top 5s. These 2 or 3. These 3 are in my top 5. One after the other. I'm gonna say, if you have an Xbox, play through the Halo series. All of the campaigns, play it on hard or heroic, whatever, but play through it all. I mean, the lore in Halo is probably one of the greatest out there, in my opinion, and it's my all-time favorite game. But so you got Halo, you got the Halo series franchise. That's probably a good 12 hours each game. There's 5 games, so that's a good time sink. And if you have Xbox Game Pass, you can play through all of them. I would say Red Dead Redemption 2. Holy crap. That game, I sunk 2 months into that game. And it is probably one of the most beautifully written, designed, like looking, graphical, character, story arcs, all this stuff. Dude, I think Red Dead Redemption 2, in all honesty, is probably the greatest game of...
Better be careful with your words right now.
I want to say the decade.
Better be careful with your words right now.
But I haven't played Shadowbringers, so everybody's.
And you haven't played God of War 4 either, bro.
I watched somebody play it.
You want to talk about a story of like character arc and development, like to kind of bring what a trilogy did before, a very important trilogy to what a character has developed over 6-7 years since the last game or something like that.
Yeah,
like it's pretty up there. I'm not gonna lie, and I've been on the journey since the rip.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's a game that like I just said, I watched somebody play. I watched my roommate Scott play it, but I didn't.
You gotta experience it, man. You gotta just sit down and actually play it. Put that on the checkbox, man. Put that on the list.
So I took you ready? Unpopular opinion. I took everybody's recommendation with Horizon Zero Dawn.
Not a big fan.
Game of the decade. It's the best. The story's incredible. I didn't like it. But I liked it. That's a lie. I did like it.
But you don't think it didn't live up to the hype? See, that's
no, I think God of War is better than that.
I think so too. It's kind of hard for me to see anything kind of beat that out. There are some exceptions, but yeah, when it comes to those games, when people are like, that's why I try not to sell. I try really hard not to oversell a game, because it's one of those, like, I make the expectations up to here, and it's really here, but it's still like way higher than what anything else is down here. It still doesn't meet this expectation, so then I look like an asshole at the end of it, and then you're like, dude, that wasn't that good. It didn't change my life. It didn't make me look at things differently. So I try to like skew it down a little bit. I'll never say, like, it's hard for me to say game of the decade, because there's just like so many good games have been able to come out. It's really hard.
All the games that's come
and
out
that too. That's the other thing, man. It's all a blur. I'm playing these games till 3 o'clock in the morning. You think I remember that? I don't remember what I had for breakfast as I'm literally sipping on it. Like, I don't even know how much sugar I put in here. But
well, in Red Dead Redemption, I mean, after I finished that, you slip into like a void after you finish games.
Oh yeah.
The games that you can sink time into, to me, create those voids, right? So like. Maybe not so much Halo, because it's more action-based, but like, Skyrim, Red Dead Redemption 2, like, you spend so much time in that afterwards you're just sitting there like, when you finish a really good show,
yeah,
and when you're done with the show, you feel like you just lost like your best friends, like
more or less.
Okay, all right. Well, that's how I felt with How I Met
you
Your Mother.
just want more.
Okay,
you just want more. You don't want it to end, kind of deal. I don't know what shows you're watching. I mean, send me a list later. Hit me up. But like,
no, How I Met Your Mother, dude. I was so sad when that ended.
I'm not gonna go. Not gonna go into TV rant. I was hardcore for How I Met Your Mother. All the way until like the last like season or two. Then I kind of like fell off. I mean, I know how it ends and stuff, which is fine. But remember they even had controversy for that first ending. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember that?
And then they did a director's cut and created a new ending.
Good, nice little input on the chat. Spider-Man.
What's that?
I literally went ham on Spider-Man.
My life afterwards.
Spider-Man was just like insane, because it's been since Spider-Man 2, the movie game 2, from the PlayStation 2, that any Spider-Man has actually done the web swinging correctly, because that is a fundamental part of like the character and how the game can succeed. If they don't like have that mechanic down, like the game instantly garbage. But PlayStation 4 had it so well that I was just like, oh, I have to keep playing. And by the time I was done, I was like, I want more. Which luckily there was DLC afterwards, but like, that was the latest game that I had that kind of feeling with.
For those of you guys that are listening after the fact, Lame Abs in chat said that the new Spider-Man made him felt like this, like with the void, and he questioned his life afterwards. So
there you go.
That just so people listening know. But and then I guess last thing on my list would be Witcher 3.
My 3.
Witcher 3. Witcher 3. Have you ever played Witcher 3?
Oh, Witcher 3. They said was your 3. I'm like, what's my 3? Witcher 3. Yeah, I played some. I haven't gone through the whole thing. I really should. I know. I'm guilty as well of, as much as I give you shit about God of War and some of those other games, I definitely am. Yeah. I've got a couple things on my list, but luckily right now I got a little bit of time.
You should play it. Before Cyberpunk comes out.
Yeah, I should, because it's CD Projekt Red's joint, so I should definitely sit down and play that.
Yeah.
I'll put it on the list. I'll put a memo. Don't worry.
But like, I mean, like games like that, dude. I mean, the list of games you mentioned, the list of games I mentioned, like, I mean, this is a time, like we said last week, this is a time to be playing all of those games. Like, this is a time to play video games. Like, what else are you going to do? Watch TV? Like, yeah, you can watch TV, but watch TV before bed. Keep your brain active during the day, or after work, of course. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, it's
keep your hand-eye coordination at a certain point.
Yeah.
Keep those mechanical skills moving. I mean, the Who's now stating, everybody play games, stay inside, play games. It's healthy. When, about a month or so ago, they weren't saying the same thing. We were borderline a disease, remember? A month ago, 2 months ago, we were a disease. Now we're like saviors.
It's going to rot your brain.
Just sip my tea.
It's going to rot your brain. And now look who's on top, guys.
Yeah.
Look who's on top.
It's our time.
You and me.
But yeah, also Persona 5. Persona 5 Royal just dropped yesterday. I think shipments are going out today.
Is that a DLC?
It's a kind of like an ultimate version that is coming out. It's there's like additional content among other things. But yeah, that just dropped as well. So
Okay.
plenty of games to check out. We have until Tuesday, and yeah, with that, we're gonna be queued up for the day. The coffee is almost done, but like I said, Friday we have Resident Evil 5. We have whatever else we're gonna be grinding out till Tuesday. So that is actually gonna wrap up our show today. Thank you very much for everyone that has been hanging out in this Twitch chat, everyone that is watching on YouTube or on the podcast platform of your choice. This has been Loading Screen. Your day is queued up. Make sure to kill it. You got your extra life. Thank you very much for hanging out. I am Dre.
And I'm Sir Skrillex. Make sure you guys drop a follow, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Twitch, whatever. Follow. We're going to be at this every Tuesday and Thursday morning, just chatting games with you guys and drinking coffee and
shooting for 11 a.m. Quotations there, but we started at 11:05, but we're right there. But once again,
for it.
Yeah, thank you very much for hanging out, guys, and we'll see you guys next week. Later.